a couple different resources there. And I'm sorry, hold on 1 second. Get in. Get back in right now. Thank you. Sorry, my kid is being crazy. Shocking. All right, so the Essentials book by Dory Doyle and Nicole Perez. So Dory's a friend of mine that I actually met before Gold Retreat, and just a fun little like 15 minute of fame whatever intro. I'm actually in the thank you intros because she pulled a bunch of us from the Gold Retreat of what we wanted to see like in a welcome book of this sort. So when you're in here, what I like about this, it goes over some terms and things like that on when you see here in the contents section. Sorry, trying to do this with one hand. It goes over a bunch of different topics. Please shut the door. A bunch of different topics that you can go over. So it starts out with why I got my kit, how our body works, ingredients to avoid. So that's where I want to start today, is on page 11. So if you have this book and you want to open it up, that's where I'm starting out right now. So what I like about this information is that it's not just coming in and starting off and talking about just oils and here's your oils and here's, you know, 5 ways to use them. But this is going over, why did I get my kit? What is this lifestyle about? Why am I avoiding certain things? Why am I choosing Thieves? And why is plant-based, you know, all these, when you look at commercials right now, there's a term called greenwashing. And a lot of what's going on is that people are talking about, you know, they're throwing out words like, oh, it's plant-based. Oh, it has natural that, but they're not talking about why you're avoiding the things that they might not have in there. And they're also, the greenwashing, the scary part about that is while they're saying made with this, they're not saying that they're choosing not to put the bad stuff in, right? They're just adding some other like key ingredients in there to make you feel good. So it's really important to have like a good understanding of what the things that we're avoiding and why we're avoiding them. Sorry, we're having behavior issues in my car today. All right, so it says our bodies gradually and naturally go through a detoxification process. Unfortunately, we're becoming overloaded with toxins and the system in the body can't keep up. And these are some of the most dangerous ingredients to avoid. And it goes over 6 main ones, but there's a lot more of them. But if we just take the baby steps and just understand like a base of avoiding even these top 6 ones, then when you're looking at the side of your ingredient list, you're seeing like, ooh, that's in there. That should be a red flag that like maybe there's some other things in there that are just not serving our bodies well. So the first one on this list is formaldehyde, which is found in anything from shampoos, baby wash, body wash, bubble baths, any type of like foaming product like that. It's a preservative in cosmetics, so that's why they're putting it in there. It helps to elongate the shelf life. The things that it can do negatively toward our body, it's a carcinogen. It's linked to asthma, neurotoxicity, developmental toxicity. So all of the nervous system issues that are going on, it's just a depressant to all of that. It can also be hidden under different names. So DMDM, urea, bronopol, are just under the key term preservatives, right? They don't sometimes have to even tell us what they're putting in there as long as they let us know that there's preservatives in there in general. So the next key one, and this is a big one in a lot of things, we've got fragrance and synthetic flavors, okay? So the term fragrance can literally cover up to like 5,000 or 6,000 different chemicals that can be hidden under that term. So it's found in anything from cosmetics to personal care products, home cleaning, food, and it's there because it's engineered, it's an engineered scent. It's a flavoring agent that may contain, sorry, Val, no. That may contain any of 3,000 plus stock chemical ingredients. Many of these are banned for longer lasting smells and tastes, okay? Fragrance formulas are protected under federal law. Oh, sorry about that. They're about to go into their acro class and got all excited. Please sit down, Belle. Sorry. All right, working from home with kids can be interesting sometimes, but totally doable. All right, so back to fragrances. So fragrance formulas are protected under federal law. They're classified as trade secrets and therefore can remain undisclosed. So that's scary if you're somebody that wants to know what's in your products and what's going on in your body, right? And this is why we have to have informed consent. We have to know what's in our products. And if somebody's not willing to disclose that, then you have the right to not use it, right? And to use something that somebody is going to have an open book. So with Young Living, that's what makes their products and everything so great, is that we have the ability to know what's in our products, right? And to really like look line by line and see like, is that something that we're in agreement with, right? All right, next one, parabens. It's found in shampoo, face cleaner, body wash, body lotion, foundation, makeup, food. So it's there as a preservative to prevent growth of mold and bacteria. Health effects, endocrine disruptors that alter hormones, mechanisms in the body, gender benders. So these are things that can all just change the natural makeup of what our body's doing and programmed to do. There's also other variations. So if you see like anything that starts with methyl or isobutyl or propyl, those are key things that you want to look at. The next one, phthalates. So DPB, DEHP, and DEP. Found in fragrance, often hidden within the label, of course, nail polish, hairspray, plastic materials, soft rubber, children's toys. Why it's there, it allows fragrance to stick to the skin. Plasticizing chemicals for pliable products. The health effects, it disrupts endocrine systems and leads to birth defects, okay? Sodium lauryl, or laureth sulfates, SLS or SLES, if you see that on the side. It's found in shampoos, body wash, bubble bath. It's there to make that foaming bubble effect. So in a lot of natural products, when this is removed, that bubbling effect isn't there, that over foaming. And we're programmed to think that that is what's cleaning something. So when you don't have this, so like Thieves Cleaner is not a foaming product. The Thieves toothpaste is not a foaming product. That's because that is not in there. And we're triggered to think that the more foam, the more it's getting clean. And that's just not the case. Okay, so it leads to skin irritations, triggers allergies, eye deformity, and hearing loss, changes genetic information in our cells, so allowing other chemicals to penetrate deeper. When naturally our body would be saying no and putting up barriers, it's tricking the body into letting it in, is what it's saying. Other notes, it says often contaminated with 1,4-dioxane, a petrochemical process to make chemicals less harsh. And then the last one that I'm going to talk about here before moving on is triclosan and triclocarbon. Okay, so this is found in liquid soaps, bar soaps, antibacterial products, hand sanitizers, toothpaste, acne treatment, and deodorant. It's there to reduce or prevent bacterial contamination. And it's a hormone disruption again, triclosan resistant bacteria, right? So now we're letting the bacteria build up a resistance to this, so that's not even working anymore. Toxic to aquatic environments. There's a rise of superbugs and other antibiotic resistant bacteria and bioaccumulation that build up in the body when over time we're constantly breaking down bacteria in this way. So it's banned in consumer products in 2017, but still found in several mainstream products. So it was banned in certain hand sanitizers, but not in others. So you know, that's the way that our world kind of goes, right? Is like we get a hot word and we hear something, somebody talks about it for a while to the point where, you know, change is made, but it's only made here, but it's still infiltrating like all the way over here because people aren't even aware that it's even going on over there. So that's the way like the mainstream kind of tricks us even to make it look like, oh, look, we're doing a little bit of good, but still, you know, damaging in the other ways. So those are just some of the things to be aware of. So those products can be, like you said, in anything from like household cleaners to our personal care products, like our mouthwash, toothpaste, shampoo, deodorant, all that. So when we're talking about Thieves and the Thieves line, what's great about, you know, the plant-based and all of those things is that, bye guys, take your water. Sorry. I think Elena has it. Ask her if she has it.
And do you have my water bottle?
Sorry. When we're talking about those things, it's really important to not only see what's in them, thank you, what's not in them, but then just looking at what is in them. So it's a two-part thing about what we're paying attention to. So other ingredients to avoid that I'm not going to like go line by line on are ammonia, bismuth and nanoparticles, chlorine petrochemicals, synthetic colors, and synthetic flavorings, and talc. Okay, so check into some of those on your own, but that gives you like a good base of things that you're looking at. So Debbie, do you have anything to add? I know you've been putting stuff in the chat too before I move on to the actual Thieves stuff. You're muted. Debbie, you're muted.
All right, so I'm talking to myself. So I was just saying, I did post a list, the Dirty Dozen list. I know Ginger found it. Rita was looking for it. I think if you scroll up into our chat, it's in there. So that's kind of helpful to have that if you don't have the book that Jen is talking about. And I was just going to look at, I just thought I posted something the other day about toxins. And I don't see it. So anyway, but I agree totally with everything that Jen was saying about all the things, and that the way they hide them is kind of scary. And a lot of it is just like a lot of marketing. You know, they have like the simple green and it's like, oh yes, it's great for the environment. Well, it's great for the environment. Well, is it really? And if it's, what about your own body? Like, it's great to protect the environment, but what about us? You know, it doesn't say it's protecting us and it's safe for us, it's safe for the environment. Well, without us, you know, I even know we need the environment, but you get where I'm going. So anyway, a lot of those things definitely were cool. I was preparing myself for the Thieves thing, not with all the toxin stuff. So I have got my Thieves things here that I was getting ready to talk about. I didn't know if you wanted to cover something before I jumped into Thieves. We're good? So
yeah, wanted to give a background. I think you joined after I said this, but I just wanted to give a background of why we're avoiding certain things in okay. our products, so that when people are asking us, it's not just like, oh, because Young Living sells it, but it's because all of these things that are in there are really depressants on our bodies. So if we're looking at, you know, this from a holistic lifestyle standpoint of like, it trickles into more things than just oils, or just because it smells nice, or just because, you know, whatever you want to throw in there, but there's an actual reason behind why these things are not good for us and why we're choosing to say no.
Right, right. I also should probably put in there, is also the app, the Dirty Dozen. I'm not the Dirty Dozen. Think Dirty. If you all don't know about Think Dirty, that's a great app to, it doesn't cover all products, but it's really a good app to look at what you've got on your shelves at home, or when you go shopping, you pull it up. It kind of gives you a lot of great information of what is good. And it's like a 1 to 5 scale, and you can see. And fragrance is one of the huge ones. I mean, it's because they can say fragrance and you have no idea what in the world that is, you know, what is put in there. So even though it may be the last thing, you don't know what in the world it is. So, you know, it's very scary when we start to learn about reading labels. And, you know, when I got into Young Living, I had no clue the different, like, candles. I loved candles. It's like, no, like, let's not go down that path. They're horrible for us, you know, but, you know, a lot of people don't know that. So Thieves, I was actually talking to somebody a little bit earlier about the Thieves, and I'm just going to give you a little tip. I know Jen is probably really good with the background, the chemical stuff, but this is, you know, the Thieves Cleaner. I'm sure you all know the Thieves Cleaner. And, you know, it comes as a concentrate, you know, 1 cap. When the bottle is empty, what I love to do is I reuse it. And I got this top on like a Dollar Tree quart bottle. And I just get rid of the bottom part, recycle that, and I stick it on my bottle. So I know this one is mixed. This is not the concentrate. The one with the top like that is the concentrate. And these live all over my house and in every car. They fit great in like a cup holder in your car. So when I come out of Publix or wherever I've been out, I'm squirting this stuff on my hands and all over my steering wheel and anything I touched. So it's just a great way to reuse these bottles and never throw it away, you know, and then you're repurposing, right? You're not polluting the world. You're reusing your stuff. So I love doing that with my Thieves. And then I was actually talking to somebody earlier, and I was saying now that we have to wear a lot of masks during the day when we go out and about, I have a Thieves roller, which they actually sell Thieves as a roller if you're lazy and you don't want to create your own or go about it. It's just quick and easy to purchase a Thieves roller. But I created my own Thieves roller. I put like 20 drops of Thieves oil in here. First, I put my V6 so my essential oil doesn't go flowing out. And then I actually put this and rub it on my mask. So I'm breathing in the Thieves oil while I'm out and about. It's definitely a lot refreshing than maybe my breath is after I've had that thing on all day. So I love doing that. Plus I know I'm keeping my body strong and supporting my immune system while I'm doing it. So I do that. And I was just talking to somebody that's works in a school, and I'm like, bring your roll on and like, share it with all your teacher friends, you know, have them roll it on their masks, you know, because then you're introducing it to other people and you're helping everybody stay healthy. So, and then I know you've all seen in the past, so I do my Thieves Cleaner, which I break it down into a quart and then I put it into my little, this is a 15 milliliter bottle, which I just bought the little top for 25 cents. I buy them in bulk on Amazon, I believe, or myoilyhabit.com sells them. And I make up my own little label. You cannot put Thieves Cleaner on here. Young Living doesn't like that when you do that, when you take something of theirs and recreate it. So I just put 100% free, chemical-free all-purpose cleaner on there, made my own little label, and I hand these out to just about anybody I meet. I also created this little card. It's a little Thieves card, so it shows the bottle and it kind of talks a little bit about the product. So those are a couple little things that I do with my Thieves. And she was showing off little books. This is a great book. I got this on Life Science Publishing. Oh, you got one too. Great little book. I love this book. It goes into all kinds of things to do with Thieves and all the different products we have with Thieves. I'll let Jen take over now if she's ready. I see her talking to somebody and see she wants to give some input. And thanks, Cindy, about my hair. Thank you. And
yes, that is one of the books today too. So if you don't have something like this is like good little, it's literally 350 ways. So if you're ever confused or think that, you know, you've thought of all the ways to use Thieves, there's probably some more that you can check in there. One other one that I'm going to read just like a little snippet from, we went over this the other night on Zoom, this Seasons of Wellness in Your Immune System. This one was from oilysupply.store.com, Aaron Rodgers' company. But I thought that this was worded well, and I just wanted to throw it out there. So it says, a thief's home is a healthy home. Mainstream chemical cleaners are some of the most toxic products on the market, and thus in our homes. If you suffer from respiratory difficulties or headaches, you may not have to look much further than what you're cleaning with your counters with. Simple swaps can reduce the toxins you are breathing in that are coming in contact with your skin on a daily basis, but it can also save you money. So I'm going to pause there just for a second and just remind, like, sometimes, like, you know, I don't know about you, but before I switched to Thieves products, I would totally, like, I've been, you know, cleaning my bathroom since I don't know, I think I was 7 years old. I remember when my mom got cancer and my Nana came to live with us to help out, and she started making us do chores, and we were all like, is mom better yet? Is she come back home? But ever since then, like, anytime I clean anything, like, I'll spray, it makes me cough, and I literally have to, like, walk out of the room and then come back in once it's settled down. And I was just trained to think that that was normal. That's not a normal reaction for your body. Your body is reacting in a normal way to say, heck no, get away from me, right? But we shouldn't just, like, you know, continue thinking that that's okay.
Exactly. I know, like, I keep the Thieves cleaner in my shower. And I tell people all the time, I spray down my shower walls and then I squeegee. Now, if you were to do that with any kind of other cleaner, you'd be choking, you'd be killing yourself in there. Yeah. It's like, the fact that I'm choking and I cannot breathe while I'm using whatever product it is, that's like a big red flag. Like, hello, yeah. Body is not happy. Like,
huge red flag, walk away.
Yeah, listen to your body. Like, maybe I should not be using this product in my house.
Yeah.
If I can't breathe in the room that I'm using it in.
Right. So I had somebody the other day come and donate some clothes to us. Like, she brought it. She's like, oh, my girls have grown out of these. I'm like, oh, that's nice. And we had a little play date. And when she left, we opened the bag to start looking through to see, like, what fit, what didn't, whatever. The smell that came out of this bag was so overpowering with the laundry detergent and the fabrics and everything that it was so intense that I don't, like, it was immediately, it was like giving me a headache. And, you know, she was talking about how her mom suffers with COPD and she has to be careful with, like, lavender essential oil. And I was like, I'm pretty sure, like, when I had a chat, like, I'm pretty sure it has more to do with cleaning products, laundry, softeners, like, all that. So, you know, sometimes we overlook the obvious because these are products that we're just have been used to using. It's not because you're choosing to use it because you just don't care, or because you're just like, oh, I don't care about my health. Clearly she cares about her health because she's taking steps, she's asking questions, and she's doing things. But a lot of times we're overlooking the very obvious stuff that's hidden in our everyday stuff, underneath our counters, in our laundry room, in our bathrooms, right? And we're not even realizing, like, oh, wow, like, I'm spraying all this stuff and now I'm having a hard time breathing. Like, those things are connected, right? So I'm going to continue on here really quickly. It says our Thieves products are concentrated, right? So it helps lower the cost. You can dilute them, reducing your household cleaning budget and reducing the number of bottles that you're using, right? Because we're reusing those bottles. Like Debbie held it up. We put a spray bottle on there, and then we're buying, like, you can even buy a bigger container of the concentrate, a 64 ounce if you wanted to. And then put, you know, once you have enough of those smaller ones all over. So, so it's eliminating plastic waste. So our Thieves household cleaner is the one cleaner to rule them all. It really it does everything in the house. So you'll love it on everything from windows to toilets to floors, stovetops. You'll feel safe using it around your entire family, including your pets, because as we're throwing, you know, bleach or anything else on the floor and everything's soaking up through the pads of the feet, whether that's our feet or pets' feet, kids crawling around, it really does over time make a huge difference. So other Thieves swaps, hand soap, dish soap, laundry soap, there's a whole entire line. But don't stop with the cleaners. So take the Thieves into your bathroom too. You'll safely swap it, your toothpaste, bar soap, all the Thieves different versions. There's seriously, it says there's not a line you won't fall in love with. And I can seriously agree with that in terms of, I mean, obviously I love everything in living, But the Thieves line of products, even if that was the only line of products we had, is a very impressive line in terms of like what it can do. We've even taken the concentrate, spilled cherry juice, sprayed it right on, lifts it up, come out. I've gotten, like with the dish soap, like oily, like oil splatter stains out of clothing that I thought was a goner. You know, taking stains off wood, off tile. Like I use it sprayed on my leather couches. I've had to use it, like Debbie said, she keeps it in the car. I keep it in my car and spray my kids down if I needed to when she threw up all over herself when we were not near there was no civilization in sight. And I was happy to have my Thieves cleaner and a clean towel to like wipe her off with and get back in the car and go. So the versatility of it is really nice. And then the cost, it's 5 cents an ounce, which even if you're comparing it to like a super green product on the market, is a lot less per ounce when you're looking at that cost comparison. So it really does save us, you know, and because I know, you know, budget is a concern, or you're just being wise with your money like we should be. It's not something that's breaking the bank. It's actually something that's really just helping you in your health as well as your finances.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. Yeah, I've got the dish soap here, the automatic dishwasher soap here. And I love the toothpaste and mouthwash. I don't know if you all use that. I did a little snippet a couple of days ago with the toothpaste. How many, can I have a show of hands of who uses the toothpaste? Anybody use the toothpaste? I only see certain people. Have you, when you're done with it, you cut it open on the bottom, you could get at least 2 weeks worth of toothpaste out of what's left in the tube. So don't throw the tube out when you can't squeeze it out anymore. So I cut it off at the like way top, like where it's like sealed. And then I can look in and see how far down, and I'll scrape the inside, and then I'll stick it in a Ziploc bag, and then I'll cut it down a little further so I can get my toothbrush back in there easier. And it lasts, I'd say I get at least another 2 weeks worth of toothpaste out of that tube. So, I mean, there's ways of stretching things always. So, and I mean, that's so much better for our bodies. You know, fluoride is so terrible for our bodies, and there is none in there. You know, great for your cavities, but not for your body. So, yeah, the toothpaste, if you haven't tried that, definitely put that on your wish list. And I totally related with you about the clothing. Before my mother knew better, she was using like that Downy stuff or something, some fabric softener, and her and I wear the same size. So we swap out clothes a lot. And she gave me the shirt she was kind of done with. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's cute. I'll take it, you know. And I put it in my closet, and I opened my closet, and the fumes that came out of that, I literally got a headache with like in a second. I was like, oh my God. I actually put it in a Ziploc bag, and when I was doing classes in person, I'd bring it out and say, smell this. I mean, this is horrible, you know? And I'm like, Ma, you got to stop. Like, I literally got a headache the second I smelt it. So, I mean, and like you said, people overlook this all the time. I tell people, if you're going to change one thing in your life, a quick and easy way, get rid of those things, use those wool dryer balls. You know, I love the baby wipes. I use those in my dryer as dryer sheets, or I put oils on my dryer balls and use those in the dryer. Get rid of those dryer that had any kind of softener.
Yeah, and the first thing, like the assault on our body long term, and the reason that we don't sometimes realize it until we've removed it, is because as you're growing up, your whole life you've been accustomed to doing this. Your body goes into a protective mode, and it literally deadens sentence in your olfactory glands, so that over time your body's like, I'm just gonna like adjust that so we don't, so it's not triggering. It's not meaning it's not doing damage. It's just that your body can't even handle. So it literally, like, you don't smell as good. You're not having that natural trigger to tell your body, like, stay away from that, is being deadened. So it's being overridden. So why, you know, sometimes people either sometimes people can be experiencing the same exact thing and have a totally different reaction in their body. So whereas where you normally get a lot of people saying, well, I've been doing that for years and it doesn't bother me. Well, just because you're not having as extreme outward symptoms like that immediate headache, or, you know, like longer lasting migraines or autoimmune issues that are popping up doesn't mean that you're not being negatively affected by it. It just means that you've either learned to manage it, learn to live with it, or your body is not quite as sensitive to those initial things. So example, you know, two people can smell the same thing and one person immediately has a headache and the other one is like, doesn't. Well, does it mean that the first person doesn't really have a headache? No. So I've been told that before, like, oh, you're just being dramatic, or, oh, you're just overreacting. It's like, no, my body literally can't handle that. And so I'm going to do things that are going to avoid that, right? Because I don't like that symptom is telling me something's not right here, right? And it took me a lot of years to figure out exactly why that was the case. So it wasn't just about, oh, well, I don't burn candles and I don't use things with certain scents because I don't like that scent. I don't like the way that it makes my body feel. But when I started to really like look into and learn and educate and do the research into why my body was reacting that way, now I had more of a connection of like why now I'm sharing with other people that it's not just like Jen's personal preference or Jen gets a migraine or I get a headache. I remember I used to work for Cindy when I was younger, and she's very sensitive to scents. And this was before I was super sensitive. So I had a few head injuries, and after my last one, that was like one thing that stuck with me. Like these migraines were so awful. But before I experienced them myself, like she told me one of the things was, please don't come here with any type of perfume or whatever, because it really bothers me. Right. So I didn't wear those when I went to work there because I was respecting her. Right. But it still didn't even trigger me to think like, why is that? I just thought like, that's just something with her. Right. And yes, you know, when you go out and you can smell somebody and they've got like overwhelming, like body spray or whatever, like, you know, those would bother me too, but I didn't have this ongoing everyday thing yet. And then when it happened to me and I experienced, it made so much more sense when you experience it yourself for the first time. Right. And then you're like, oh yeah. So what I've noticed with this lifestyle though, is even my kids, my husband, even if you're somebody who wasn't overly sensitive to the point of getting headaches right away when you smell something, when you do remove those unnecessary fragrances and petrochemicals and things like that from your lifestyle, you're not daily being bombarded with them in your home, right? We can't avoid like every environmental trigger, but we can do what's in our home. When you remove those, your body starts to repair itself. So as your olfactory glands start to open back up, you start to taste things more, right? Because your nose and your sense of taste are connected. So when you're smelling better, you're tasting better. And then when you're starting to smell better, you can even come close to the laundry aisle in the grocery store and you're already like, what in the world? I can literally walk outside my house sometimes and know who's doing laundry because I can smell the exhaust from the exhaust pipe. And it's just like, I can't even, I'm like, I need to go back inside because I can't handle it. And it's funny when I stripped the clothes that were given to us 4 different times, sunned them, did all these things. They still hold onto it so much. But in our dryer, when I was like doing the drying, it smelled as though we were using those products because it was like coming out of the exhaust. My daughter said, what is that smell? I'm like, that is because we were trying to strip what was so soaked in and held and locked into these fabrics, proving the point that when we're wearing stuff, people think, well, what is it? Why do you have Thieves laundry soap? Like, who cares what laundry you use? Well, when you're putting it in there and all that's being locked into your clothing, right? And then you're sitting, it's on your skin, your largest organ, you're sweating, you're moving around, those things are getting into your bloodstream. So that it all makes it's all connected, right? It's not just like, oh, well, who cares what goes in my dishwasher? Well, it's cleaning dishes that you're then eating and putting your food on, right? The same with your clothes. You spend most of your time in your bed. So if you've got all that locked into your sheets, right? And you're constantly like spraying, cleaning, brushing your teeth with it, using the mouthwash, like all the things, over time, that's huge assault on our body, our nervous system, and our bodies can't keep up. And over time, it breaks it down, makes us more susceptible to disease, makes us more susceptible to just any virus, bacterial assaults, anything like that. So that's the reason why it's so important. So when people ask you, like, well, why do you use Thieves? It's not even just about like, well, I like the way it cleans. I love the way it cleans. I love the way it smells. It smells like Christmas. I love all those things. I love that it doesn't have ingredients. But knowing why we're doing it, when we're talking to other people, helps them to see like why they would want to do it too. It's not just about, well, because I get it on ER and I get free shipping. Like those are all awesome things too, but it's a little bit more than that. There's one more little booklet I wanted to share that you can get this. They're pretty inexpensive. I forget. I think it was like maybe between $8 and $10 for a pack of 10 of these. But Young Living sells these, so you can get these through your own virtual office. And it's just so many uses, just one cleaner. So it says Thieves household cleaners, plant-based formula delivers a spicy sweet scent, an impeccable clean on glass, stovetops, counters, carpets, and more for a home that smells as fresh as it looks. And it just goes through different recipes in here for scrubs, all-purpose cleaning, glass, like all different stuff, all different little recipes. So I like to get these, and I'll give them to new members, or just a friend if I'm going to give like a sample of Thieves cleaner. You can buy the pre-made samples that used to come in the starter kit, or you can just throw some like in a dollar store bottle, and they can add their own water, and then they have like a cleaner for the next, I don't know, last them like 30 days or so. But these are fun to give out just as a little intro if you're wanting to share that.
Very nice. I've found that my body, since the more I remove toxic smells and chemicals from my environment, the more sensitive I become. I could walk down a cleaning aisle, no problem, before I found Young Living. Now I can't, like you said, I smell it 3 aisles down. I can't even go near it, or walk by the front of a store that sells, bath and body products. I have to walk on the other side of the mall because it's so intense. The smells coming out just really actually bother me. I could walk into a store and say, oh, I know what cleaner they're using. I can smell it because I'm just so super sensitive. And I think it's because my body has gotten used to not having that and knows what's good for it, that as soon as it smells these toxic chemicals, it's almost like a red flag again goes up, and like, no go, like remove yourself from that situation, because it's not a happy thing. My body's not happy by smelling it. So, and it's all in your body too, So I love all the information we covered. Does anybody have anything else they want to share? Anybody have the experiences like Jen and I have been sharing with you about any kind of, the headaches or the smelling of stuff that drives you crazy? We can't be alone in this one. I know that. Anybody?
Well, Jen already went over mine. I have a terrible time with strong perfumes. When our older boys lived at home, we made them put their, it wasn't Hugo Boss, but it was, oh gosh, Tommy Hilfiger cologne in the garage, because it just hung there in the air, and my husband even got a terrible headache from it. And my friend, who, very sweet lady, and just put on a little bit of lavender cologne. We'd be driving, I wouldn't say anything, I just open the car window a little bit just to let some fresh air in. If anybody ever sees me sitting with my hands over my nose, that means that there's a smell that's bothering me and giving me a headache. So yeah, it's smells are bad, Thieves are good. Thieves covers everything.
Yes. Stephanie said family gatherings are hard for them. Yeah, when you're locked in a room or a car with people that are using synthetic fragrances, it really is hard. I know my mom's on here, but before I even found Young Living, And before, we knew more or why it was triggering or why it was bothering me, the kids would come over and she'd let Elena spray her perfume on her, and she'd come home and I'm like, literally have to like give her a bath. I'm like, it's not just, like, oh, what's the big deal? And I'm like, but it really bothers my head. Like it literally was like, I can't even be around you. Like, you need to go in the bathtub.
A guy that used to work for my parents, he would use the phone and we'd forget, my mom and I, we'd forget, we'd go use the phone after him, and his cologne, it just like, it's on your face, or you hug these big sweaty men, you try and avoid them, but like the cologne is oozing out of their pores. You're in the bathroom rubbing your face off because it just smells so bad. It just smells bad. One of the reasons I like this stuff is because I know that the things I'm smelling aren't going to cause me harm or give me headaches or anything like that. It's a product I trust. It's a product I trust my family with, and can't see using anything else for sure,
Yeah. Yeah, Stephanie just said nail polish even bothers her. What do you use for that? My daughter loves painting her nails, but I don't want the smell. There are non-toxic, speaking of, like, these are, it's like they don't stay on the best. You see them chipping off. Elena like played with mine last night. Like Piggy Paint is one of the brands. There are other brands out there that have low fume or no fume, like much more toxic, but they don't stay on as well. So I mean, long term wise, what I started doing, what does last for a really long time, and I don't even know, I'm not saying that this is like the best stuff, but what I found is, like, if I just wanted to do something and have it last a long time, like I've done those, like the dip powder type things, so that I'm not having to like reapply or put it on, it'll last me like a month. Or those like nail polish strips, that way you're not the fumes aren't quite as strong. But if you want like nothing, and like the non-toxic kind, like a Piggy Paint type thing, like search for like a non-toxic thing. But as far as removing it, we've had a lot of success with lemon or lemongrass. And you do have to rub a little bit more than the formaldehyde or the acetone based nail polish removers, but it does come off. So there are definitely ways to help with that.
I recently saw a post on somebody's Facebook page about nail polish and nail polish remover that is toxic, has less toxins. If I find it, I'll share it with everybody next week. I'll go look for that. What was I going to say? And then I would probably diffuse, whoever was dealing with polishing their nails, I would probably be diffusing like Thieves or Purification or lemongrass in the room while they're polishing their nails. It's not going to get rid of it, but it can maybe mask it. It's just going to, at least you're breathing that in versus the nail polish stuff, or do it outside.
Yeah.
So you don't smell it. Yeah, Color Street. I've heard somebody mention that. Yes, that's one of them, I believe.
Yeah, the strips, they are still real nail polish. So they do still, when you open the packet, you do still smell it, of course. So like you said, like, yeah, we either go outside or I try and, like, if they're just like playing around, like I just buy some of the Piggy Paint things and they put it on and it peels off like 2 minutes later. But like, whatever, that's usually all about, a day or two, and she wants a new color anyway. So it just makes it easier that it peels right off. But I hope that the whole goal of today was that you felt more empowered when you're sharing with other people, like why you're doing certain things, why you're choosing to avoid other things, and to encourage you to continue your own research in that. If you don't have like a quick book like this would be a great one. There's a lot of information. We're going to start going over, I think, more of this, just thing by thing, but on page 36, it even goes over more of the Thieves products and the line. And then one more side note, I listened to a Instagram live. So it's going to be up for 24 hours. And then depending, Jim Bob or Jody or both may share it to like Instagram TV so that it's available long term. But because of the nature of what they were talking about, I have a feeling that somebody might just mark it as false news and, take it down altogether. Yes, so Stephanie saw it too. So they were having a live discussion on vaccine, and just like an open conversation about information about, not saying like, anyway, just an informed consent type talk. So if you're somebody who is thinking more about vaccines, wanting to learn more, just not even sure, like, you know, what questions to ask, where to start, it's a really good place to start to wonder, like, what is in them, doing that research, doing your due diligence and looking and seeing what is the best choice for my family, whether you go through all the questions and you still choose to vaccinate, whether you choose to delay, whether you choose to avoid, you know, whether you're talking about, you know, from a child, what do I do with boosters? What do I do with this new vaccine that they're trying to fast track? What does that all mean? So if these are any questions that you've had, it's a really good place to start, because they went over a lot of information on that, how the immunity works, how we can do things to just be informed customers and take back that control and be empowered in our decision making, so that we can make really good decisions for our family, no matter what those decisions are. You may still choose to do whatever you want to do, but the point is that you're informed enough to make those educated decisions. So you can go to either, I'm trying to think even what it's like, at Dr. Jim Bob, isn't that his Instagram handle? Anyway, I shared it on my Facebook page, or if you want it, you can ask me for it. But it was almost an hour and 45 minutes of just really good health, like how to be informed with your health, how to ask questions, how to, you know, be a engaged consumer of medical things. One thing I want to leave you with, he had a really good analogy about a fire station and how when we go to medical professionals, they're trained to do so. He had the analogy of a fire department. So when your house is already on fire, it's already burning to the ground, right? You call the fire department and you come, and they come with two tools. They're going to come with, right, a hose and like an axe. They're going to come and they're going to put the fire out so that you can rebuild. You're not going to then go and call the fire department back and be like, hey, so now that my house burned down, how do I build it? They're going to be like, go find a construction company, right? They did their job. They put out the fire. So a lot of times we're looking to medical professionals. We're asking them, well, what do we feed our kids? What do we do about sleep? What do we do about this? And those medical professionals were trained for emergency medical care, right? They're trained to help keep your kid alive. They're not trained to deal with like the emergencies. So we're really asking people too much, like that, for things that they weren't ever prepared or educated to do. So that's where we need to go and find a nutritionist, go and find a chiropractor if you want to find function, like how is the body supposed to function. So it's just a lot of good information and a lot of good, if you're somebody who is wanting to figure out more, how do I keep our body functioning well? How do we do these things? Questions to ask, things to consider, things to research, right? And to get our wheels turning so that we're asking the right questions to the right people so that we can get the outcome that we're looking for. So if any of that interests you, then definitely check out that live. It was very informative.
Thanks, Jen. I love him. He's fabulous.
Yeah.
I love Dr. Jim. Really.
So it's him and Jody Mishusek. I know I always butcher her last name, but it was a really good conversation.
They're always full of great information. Really, really, really good information. So, well, that was great. I think I learned a lot, and I had fun sharing. And I guess we're going to look for seeing everybody next week, unless anybody has a burning desire. Did you cover everything you wanted to, Jen?
Yeah, and come back next week. We're going to share some basic like safety tips, information, and all the things that sometimes we overlook in the moment of.
Yes, I got a call the other night from my son flipping out. I got deep relief in my eye. What do I do? So we're going to cover a few of those things next week. So until then, I guess everybody have a fabulous week, and we will see you next Tuesday at noon, right? Thank you.
Bye.
Everybody.